Marlo's son is
See, like, yo, Jazz, am I wrong for not liking my quarterback, man? Am I wrong for not liking this sunshine looking mother fluffer?
don't get me started. Don't
I,
even don't get me started. 'Cause, whew, um, I don't know how. All right, so here's a problem. Y'all just gave him a bunch of money.
but we had no choice, and I'm not mad at it.
I
He's average.
yeah,
To me, he's gonna get a spot. He's like, you know, he's a little bit better than what Blake Bortles was, or
it's
got
the
potential to be a little bit better than what Blake Bortles was. And that's all we need if we have a good defense, if we have that. But
um prepared. I apologize, y'all. For some reason, somebody decided to ask me if I prepared a report, and if it's a client, they about to yeah, it's about to get ugly.
uh-oh.
It's about to get ugly because yeah. Um. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the Madness Basketball Podcast. Myself, DK, TP, I believe is on the way. Marlo is on the way, so we just gonna start a little bit early. Uh, I'm on. Oh man. So first, Florida State was off, and it was supposed to be as collective fan base a we just gonna chill and be cool. So yeah, about that. If you seen any Florida State fan, if you seen any Florida State fan on Twitter, they did not chill. They did not take a break. It was not a woosah moment. We was on that bullshit. Um, I apologize. I apologize. Howsoever, um, it's still fuck them people. I don't care about Miami. I don't care about that school in Gainesville. It's still us over everybody. That being said, TP, your Longhorns,
Let's talk about it.
your Longhorns. Um,
Went to the big house,
Domination.
made it our house.
Dominant.
Very good performance from the Longhorns this weekend.
yeah,
You know, this is something that we've been building towards. You know, we have the ability to go beat good teams, and we showed that last year. Steve Sarkisian has built this team to compete in the hardest conference in college football. So naturally, when we go play anybody else, I would expect us to be on top. And Michigan in a rebuilding year. Like, so this isn't last year's Michigan team. And I think people need to understand that as well. They are definitely rebuilding. They don't know what they have at quarterback. Outside of Will Johnson, that defense is very inexperienced. So this isn't the best Michigan team that could have been put on the field. We'd have played them last year. I think it would have been a much closer game. You know, with that being said, this ain't last year. So now we're looking forward to some real games that we have to prepare for. We have to prepare for Georgia this year. Arkansas looks really good. You know,
Yeah.
coming out of the SEC is not going to be easy. But I think even if we run the table and we only lose to Georgia or we end the season with a one loss, even if we don't win the SEC championship, we should still be in the playoff. And then the real game starts. So our goal now is just to go out there and dominate the teams we're supposed to dominate, beat good teams, whoever's ranked that's on our schedule. Right now, I know we have Georgia and we have Oklahoma. So if we can manage to at least win one of those games, we put ourselves in a very good position to go to the FCC championship game. And that's really when the playoffs start, to be honest.
It's I watched that game, and I'm not gonna hide my disdain for that head coach. I don't like him, and I understood his comments last year because if somebody tell you, "Hey, if you don't mess this up, you're gonna be the head coach next year," so he made the comment that he made. I didn't like the comment that he made, and so I'm not exactly on board with this coach. And I know I'm supposed to like cheer all black head coaches, but I gotta be fair. When you tell me you don't see color, that's gonna trigger a lot of people. I'm one of those people. I'm human. I got triggered.
It has to be within a certain context, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're talking about the way that you build your team, no, you shouldn't see color. The best player plays. You know, in our society, to be ignorant of color is really just trying to set us back because we are who we are. You know what I mean? And if you don't appreciate the cultural value that each race brings to the table, then you're losing sight of the bigger picture. We're supposed to be a melting pot. You don't look at the salt and the pepper and be like, oh, I don't see no different in it. You know that there's different. But you know when you put right things together, you're going to get something beautiful coming out of that pot. And it's the same thing in sports. You have to understand the different skill sets that people bring to the table. Say, I don't see color. I don't, it has to be a deeper context in there.
So, and again, I want to make sure that I'm fair. Given the timing of the statement, he was under a lot of pressure to not mess this up. So I'm understanding why he made the statement. I just didn't like the statement itself. So it definitely was a timing thing, but whatever. But what we not gonna fail to talk about, I've been telling y'all for a long time that them Golden Domers have been overrated and been getting a pass.
Speaking of black coaches,
Getting a pass. This is the listen. This is the dark skin, light skin, violent segment.
oh man.
Hey,
So
hey, hey. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. What we're not gonna do is criticize my light skinned brother. Although I don't know what the
we're
hell
not
that
gonna do
was.
the colorism.
Right.
we
Just got done
it's a
talking
joke.
about this, man. See,
It's just a joke.
Joke. We do, but we do got to talk about losing to NI. And you know what's crazy? NIU has done this before. Not a top
they
10
did.
team, though.
I remember this. I don't know
Not
who
a
it
top
was.
10 team, but they have beaten ranked teams before.
Mm-hmm.
They're coached really well, and it showed. What did I tell you last week? I say if you let any of these low ranked teams have hope.
You did. And you said that. You said that. You said
You
that.
gotta snatch that hope. Miami did that to Japan. Like they straight up. They came out, they had the business, they did what they were supposed to do. They were clearly the more athletic team. They the deeper team.
$20 million team.
In a big, in a big conference. You expect that. But NIU hanging with Notre Dame, they hung in there so long, they had hope. And once you have hope, the train started rolling. And again, they were coached well. They were coached really well. That coach was crying after that game. The level of passion that we have in sports is why I love it so much.
Yeah.
You know
Because you
who
can't
right?
write a better story.
You know right? Who's crying right now? Texas A&M.
Mm.
Texas A&M. They can't buy a championship to save their life, and they trying.
Yeah, they tried. They've been trying.
It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Another game that kind of went kind of crazy. And it was on the HBCU level. North Carolina A&T versus Winston Salem State. Um, that game was way too close for way too long. You got a D1 school versus a D2 school. You, that thing went to overtime. And I don't, I don't, I don't, I don't want to anger my friends that are Aggies. Ev is a Aggie friend, but
When has that ever stopped you from saying something? I'm just wondering. I don't think that has ever stopped you from saying anything that you were about to say. Continue.
I'm feeling attacked. I'm feeling attacked. Um, and I'm feeling
If,
attacked
in
because
fact, in fact, I think you say that. That's just like saying no disrespect right before you disrespect somebody.
all I'm gonna say is it was a 20-27 win for North Carolina A&T against a rival Winston Salem State Rams, and it went no. It was a bare knuckle brawl. It was a bare knuckle brawl, and I keep saying this, and I keep pushing this narrative. If you think D2 HBCU football teams can't hoop, keep playing around. You're gonna fuck around, get knocked off, and be asking questions. Tuskegee got a lot of Black National championships, and they ain't never been D1. So keep playing with them, folk. They gonna mess around and knock your head off. But well fought, hard fought game. Um, A&T has a running back that can carry the rock. Very, very good downhill runner. But the Winston Salem should have never been in that game. It should not have been a game. It just shouldn't. And this ain't North Carolina A&T don't play in the HBCU conference. They play in the CAA. They play with the big boys. Now they ain't get a lot of wins last year with the big boys. I'm just saying they play with the big boys. So take that for what it is. Take that for what it is. Couple other games around the way. I don't see. I'm trying to be nice, but some of these games this weekend, I
Ooh,
don't.
ooh, ooh. I got one. I got one. But dude,
Oh
cause
man.
they scored 2 points.
Wait.
They scored 2 points. These sorry mother scored 2 points. They didn't score how many points this season? 5.
Wait. No. No. I refuse.
They are the definition of trash.
They scored 2 points.
2 points in a whole game.
Two- They scored 2. They versus Mercer. Versus Mercer.
Mercy ruled them. Oh, all is right with the world.
Oh my God. So they scored 5 points all season.
So Marlo, tell us how you really feel.
Scored 5 points.
I feel like I am skipping down the rainbow with my pet unicorn in tow, sprinkling pixie dust on the leprechauns, followed behind me with the pot of gold. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Won't you come? Just won't you come? Just come on. Just feel it. You feel good. Y'all want to feel it? Oh my gosh. I think, I shouldn't be happy that that school isn't performing as well as the preseason said it was going to perform. But I told y'all what was going to happen. I told you. All this preseason hype about these other schools. Oh, this school gonna do this. This trash, 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 trash. That's all. Them chickens just came home to roost.
In my defense, I was trying to say nice things about that school in Daytona, but
Not me.
as we all know, no good deed goes unpunished, and this is
Not
my
me.
punishment for
What
saying
good
nice.
can you say about a school scoring 5 points in 2 games? First of all, they probably would have got blanked had it not been for somebody trying something silly. That's all I'm saying. It would have been 3 points in 2 games against Mercer.
Two points is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. No, like, all right, the 2 points was crazy, but what he said afterward and them scoring only 5 total points in 2 games, I had to look at that. That was insane. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they played a top a Power 5 school in either one of those games. They played South
Should have
Florida.
hired Ed Reed.
Should have. South Florida and Mercer. That's terrible.
Nobody deserves an ibis. You have done nothing in your life to warrant being punished with an ibis. Nothing.
What do you mean?
Look, Bethune, listen. I don't wish that on y'all. I don't wish. Ed Reed got fired on his day off. He never had a contract. He was running around campus
He was
complaining
trying to make
about the
them great
school
again.
before he ever signed a
They
contract.
should have.
I think he could have did a better job than 2 points.
We all us
Ed
four as a
Reed.
collective could have did better than 5 points. Come
Yeah.
on.
Do y'all see Dion? Ed
He
Reed would
scored
have been 10 times
45.
worse. He would have been 10 times worse.
He
10
scored
times worse.
45, and he dominated his conference when he was there. By the way, he's in the big boy conference, so he gotta show his right. But
you know what? I'm not finna do this. I'm not finna do
five.
this.
You telling me we can't score 5 points? Yeah, okay. That was. This is not a good showing. First 2 games.
ATP. Marlo has recruited DK.
Yeah.
I only put information out there, sir, that is factual about certain institutions, and if that makes one think of what the hell are they doing over there at that school, then that's valid. Like, I don't know how you go through all of the summer practice, all the spring practice, and you score 2 points against Mercer. They should have just stayed at the house and not got sweaty. That is the definition of somebody got to show me some fight.
See?
That right there.
Somebody got to get fired.
There was no fight show. No fight, sir.
That is I rag that school often because they are, something close to a rival. Like that's that little brother
They
that
are the
get.
rival.
No, they're not. No, no, they're
The
not.
food is the only rival. It ain't that school in Jackson. It will never be that school in Jackson.
What are you talking about a
Thank you,
rival
Mo.
for? We
It
just
will.
play. We just play them every year. But really, if you look at the record of that rivalry game, like if we win 60 and they done won 20, like that's real lopsided. I'm just saying. So it's something like a rival. But I don't ever want, like, that's demoralizing. How can you get your team up to play next week when well, we didn't play 8 quarters. We can't even score a point a quarter. How you get that pep talk? I'm just saying. If I'm the head coach, I'm going in there turning over lockers. I'm taking the y'all ain't playing with no knee pads and thigh pads this week. You gotta do something to shake up the narrative. Okay, next week you won't have shoulder pads. Keep it up. Score 2 points again.
Marlo should
I
never
did.
give the pregame pep talk ever.
Scholarship. I got a scholarship for your ass. Yeah, I wish they might. They need to call me for a pep talk. I'm gonna go in there with all my FAMU gear. I was like, how does it feel to make that decision? When all the schools you could have went to, you chose to come here. How you feel?
For the record, everybody can't get into FAMU. There is a very high bar that you have to cross to get to FAMU.
It
So
is, but oh yeah, 3.9.
What?
Yeah, it's up there.
well, in other SWAC news, Alabama State beat Miles College 24-3.
Ooh,
Alabama A&M beat Kentucky State, another D2 school, 49-7. Grambling beat Tuskegee 37-20. Jackson State beat Lane College, another D2 school, 58-7. Southern played Rice and got mollywopped 69-7, but they got a touchdown. Southern played Savannah State, won 42-10. Prairie View A&M on a defensive stand won 37-30 on the goal line, just like they did last year, resting everything on their defense. Great defensive stand. Lamar beat Mississippi Valley State 28-14.
was it really great though? If they gave up 30 points, it would almost gave up 37. Like the play to stop them from scoring probably was great, but that's not a great defensive showing.
Just, oh, Lord.
Let's see. Where we at?
Alcorn lost to Vanderbilt 55-0. However, the lead
What?
up to the game was more important to the game because Vanderbilt got on Elon Musk's Twitter and had the audacity to act like they was a real football school. You not. Imagine,
They might be
imagine.
Florida State.
They, you trying to make me cuss? You trying to make me cuss, and I will not do it. They are. not a real football school. They might be at best a baseball school. But
No,
hey,
they
Eb,
don't.
but to troll Alcorn, because I say Alcorn all the time. The troll Alcorn, um, yeah, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. Because we know you can't fight in your weight class because you underneath them boot skins. So we
I
know you can't
mean,
fight in your weight class.
they beat Tech. They beat Tech.
They beat who?
Virginia Tech.
Oh yeah, they did beat Virginia Tech. Hey, when the last time Virginia Tech had a team was Mike Vick there? Oh my bad.
Yeah,
Wow.
but they were supposed to be some going into this year, weren't
Hey,
they?
if
Just
if
like
it's
y'all,
two
right?
teams, if it's two teams, the ACC should give back to the Big East. Tech and Miami, them the two teams they should give back. Yep, them two. But hey, I digress. Marlo got me out here. Uh, got me.
I only put out the facts, and then I let them go where they go.
I want everybody to know Marlo is the bad guy. Um,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Arkansas Pine Bluff beat Arkansas Baptist 73-0. Um,
That was not church like or very Christian.
At all.
That was
hey,
not.
that might be. I don't. You know what? I don't know any UAPB people, and I've tried to like search and like find out like tell me about the school, the team, or whatever. But I don't know any UAPB people, so I don't really have an analysis on them. I just hope they have a better season than they had last season.
I don't.
They got to
Of course,
win.
of course
Then
you don't.
the then the sweat.
Of course you don't, Marlo.
I want all of mother to lose.
On the MEX side of things,
Wait, then who's your team, Marlo? I'm sorry.
Fam you.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Fam you. Fam goddamn you. All right, all right, all right.
all
I
right.
just had to make
So
sure.
on the MEX side, South Carolina State defeats the Citadel in the Battle of South Carolina. Congrats to South Carolina State. Good win.
That was
Norfolk
a good
State.
one, actually, too.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was a
I
good
was
game.
kind of watching that.
Yeah. Norfolk State beat Virginia State. Again, good win for Norfolk State. I'm gonna say this again, and I know everybody gonna say it's just Virginia State. Howsoever, Norfolk State got a quarterback. Pay attention. They got a quarterback, and they had two running backs that went over. I'm sorry, they had a running back to go for 237 and a wide receiver go for 109 yards. Keep
But
playing
they
with them.
barely won, though.
Keep playing with the people. That's just how they coach. Coach. That's just how he do. He not finna open up the whole playbook. That's just how he do. I don't know why. That's just how he do. North Carolina Central falls to Elon. Um, I don't know how well. Like I've heard some people say Elon could be this, and I don't know how well they're gonna be. But North
I think
Carolina,
that quarterback is decent. Matt Downing.
yeah,
I feel like he went somewhere the year before, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's an old dude. Yeah, he used to be at TCU in Georgia.
yeah.
He's
Um,
old though, old, super old.
oh Jesus, 2018 was his freshman year. Okay.
Yeah.
But that COVID, y'all know y'all running out of COVID years. Just so y'all know, that
Yeah,
COVID year, I think this is the last of the COVID year. So
yeah,
enjoy it while you
probably.
can.
Or it's like
Um,
the guys that were injured during that period of time. Anyways,
I need Banks to come front and center because Banks had me believing that this was the year they had offense. They did not. They lost to Townsend in town, in state rival, 14-9 in the Battle of Baltimore. Um, I don't. Their defense played well. They needed more for their offense. 3 field goals is not going to cut it.
What what
Um,
what school you talking about?
Morgan State and Townsend. Oh shoot.
Oh, oh, that's sorry. M- Okay, never mind. I ain't going there. But if I did, let me just tell you. The last time we brought up Morgan State, you said that they call themselves what?
The national treasure.
The National Treasure. I'm just sit that right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back over to you. You scored 9 points against Townsend. Okay.
Um, we just so disclaimer: the Fat Mouth Sports, the Madness Basketball Podcast, does our best to alienate every possible fan base just for fun.
I got another fan base you want to alienate. Are you ready for the
Hold
conversation?
on, hold on, hold on. Let's get. We got one more score. We got one more score. Howard beats Maryhurst 32-31.
Yo, that was crazy. That was a close one
Yeah,
coming from
very close
Howard.
game. Hunter from Howard ran for with 27 carries for 126 yards and 3 touchdowns. They back on they same old ish. They gonna run the ball and well attempt to play defense, but they didn't. They gave up 21 points in the fourth quarter. They had the game and gave up 21 points in the fourth quarter. So I don't know how like at this point we're still early in the season. People aren't really playing conference games, so there's really no barometer of how good teams are, except Florida A&M, who is in first place of the MEAC. And for those who don't know, Florida A&M is not in the MEAC, but they've beat 2 of the 6 MEAC squads. So one more victory and they win a conference. But I digress. I'm sorry. I just
Fuck them. Fuck
all right. So I guess we're gonna. I guess we'll just go to the SEC because somebody has made it to the SEC. Um,
Nah, I think we should take a segue before we go to the best conference in college football. Say that for last.
oh, you want to say that? Okay.
Mhm.
Gotta
So
say that for last.
we'll go to the ACC. Um,
Hey,
BYU.
Clemson handled business over App State.
I get to that. I get to that. So
Mhm.
a lot of you people was telling me how good SMU was gonna be when they got in the ACC. I remember.
I'm
I be
mad.
in
I'm so
everybody
mad.
podcast. Everybody podcast. I be in everybody chat. And I just listen and I
That was
might
nasty word.
type a little, something a little spicy every now and then. Let me tell y'all something. Florida State is bad. We bad. We bad. You know who we better than? And it might be only 6 teams we can say we better than. SMU, one of them teams. SMU loses to BYU 18-15. Neither one of these teams can play dead in the Cowboy movie. Neither one of them. BYU quarterback goes for 202 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. He was literally trying to give the game away.
This dude, he stinks.
But I digress. I don't want to call nobody a kid stink. I digress. Duke beat Northwestern. Hey, remember when I kept telling y'all keep telling me these Big Ten schools are so great. Vanderbilt and Northwestern are the same school, just one in the north and one in the south. That's it. Neither one of them can play football. They fool you every 5 years and think, you know what? We're going to go to a bowl game. And that's it. That's all they're going to do. They're going to win 6 games every 3 years. And their fan base is going to be like, oh, yeah, we're a football team. You ain't. Stick to research. Keep putting out lawyers. Stop talking about football. Get off Twitter. This ain't for you. It really ain't for you. And I'm a no, and I'm telling you this. Heed the words of the brother. Anyway, Duke beats Northwestern again. Malik Murphy, ring a bell. 243, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Yeah, I can't wait till they play Miami. Tennessee beats the living daylights out of North Carolina State. First off, I just want to say, whoa, Rocky Top, home sweet home to me. Beat the hell out of them dogs. Rocky Top, Tennessee. I don't care nothing about them wood puppies. I hope they lose every game. I hope when they get off the plane.
Chill. I need them to be good a little bit. Just be a little bit good to help that Tennessee ranking. Just a little bit. Them boys is cold, man. That boy Nico, that's a bad man. And he only a sophomore. Y'all better watch out.
DK,
that's a bad man right there.
Their athletic director was over the playoff committee. And Marlo said it's not nice for me to wish people get hit by a Nerf bus because it's still a bus. So if he run into the wall every morning before he get ready for work, I'm cool with that. I am absolutely cool with it. Like, I hope the stars he see are actual tomahawks floating around his head. Like, I don't want nothing nice to happen to this dude. I want all the bad things in life to happen to him and nobody else but him. I hope when he get in the car, the oil light come on. Then when he get to the mechanic, the oil light go off. I don't want nothing nice for this man. So bet your money on the people if you want to.
Oh no, that's crazy. That's crazy, Cobbs. I'm sorry. That is wild.
But anyway, I cannot say this young man's name, but the quarterback for Tennessee had 211 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I don't think it really mattered, quite honestly, because they had 132 yards from the running back, 2 touchdowns. I don't think there was anything NC State could do. Them wood puppets can't play dead in the cowboy movie. They showing up for a check. That's it. That's it. I'm trying to figure out what's the difference between them and the HBCU. Not much. But I digress. Louisville.
So they just got that ranking for no reason. They just not good at all.
Listen, if you believe that North Carolina State is the number 24th team in the nation.
I didn't say that they were 24 because I understand that it's early and everything, but like they gotta be decent, right?
GK.
They better than y'all. They better than y'all.
The only blessing they got this year was they didn't have to play Florida State. Because of all the games, if they was on this schedule, if all the games that was on this schedule, and if Mike Norvell was to lose to NC State, let's just put this all on the table. If Florida State runs the table and they get into the championship game and it's North Carolina State and Florida State, it should be a lose your job if you lose game. Anybody else except them Ibis people and them boot skins. But him, the guy, nah, dog. Again, I understand where we at. We'll get to that later. We'll definitely get to that later. Syracuse beats Georgia Tech in another game that should have gotten Mike Norvell fired. Syracuse quarterback McCord had 381 yards and 4 touchdowns. I'm getting mad just thinking about this. I just, you know what? Every game Georgia Tech lose should be like another. Can coaches get write-ups? Like, coaches should be able to get write-ups. Like, every time Georgia Tech lose a game, the head coach should be wrote up. You are now on probation, so this is your third write up in a month. But again, I know
Cows
TP.
in
Wait,
the AC. Wow.
yeah,
Wow. My bad. I know I'm
Clemson.
jumping ahead.
Clemson beats the brakes off of App State. Cape
Mm.
Klubnik looks like a college quarterback for one game. 378 yards. You would almost believe that Dabo got something working in Clemson. He does not. Um, App State, again, they're a fledgling program. Don't know where they're going to go. They may be competitive in the conference. We just really don't know. It's still early in the season. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh wins 28-27 in a huge rally in the fourth quarter. They put 15 points on the board, sealed the game. Pitt's quarterback Holstein went for 302 yards, 3 touchdowns, and interception. I just don't think Cincinnati is good anymore. I just don't. I absolutely don't. TP, you want to talk about Auburn losing to Cal? How you lose to the smart guys if you're the SEC?
Did we think Auburn had a good football program going into the year?
I mean, weren't they like in the middle of rebuilding or retooling everything that they had going on, or not?
They told us it was the SEC. They told us this SEC is the toughest conference. Cal couldn't even Cal wasn't even good in the Pac-12.
They lost the crowd.
The Pac-12 broke up and nobody wanted them. Nobody.
I don't think Cal been good since Aaron Rodgers left.
Pretty much.
And that was 2005.
Atlantic Coast Conference. Cal, like that make sense. That actually is making me mad. My bad. I come from what? That's throwing me off up there in the ACC.
Oh, TP, you gonna like this one. You gonna like this one. And a show of how you handle Duquesne. Boston College beats Duquesne 56-0. That's how you beat Duquesne. You put half 100 on.
And Boston College is still like a 16-point underdog to Missouri this week.
Because Missouri is, we'll get to them. We definitely gonna get to them.
Ain't Missouri good? Or supposed to?
Yeah, they are. They
for
good.
real. They for real.
But I don't think they're 16 points better than BC.
Really?
Well, North Carolina beats Charlotte 38-20. I don't even know how to gauge that game, to be honest with you. That is it's a throwaway game. Virginia Tech beats Marshall 31-14. Pretty much what you expect from Virginia Tech. Stanford beats Cal Poly 41-7. Okay. Virginia in a shootout beats Wake Forest 31-30 by rallying in the fourth quarter with 14 points.
Quarterback threw for 400.
That was a great game, by the way.
Oh man.
Wake Forest quarterback threw for 400 and lost.
Did Florida State beat Wake Forest? Did y'all play them? I just want.
I hope you
Nah,
stub
not
your
yet.
toe.
Not this year.
I hope you stub your toe. Yeah. Well, you know what? In other news, in absolute other news. So you know your homeboy was in the booth this week.
Yes.
Yep. He was in the booth this week. He was. And
He brought their circling people and everything.
So Elle Duncan got on her podcast and told us not to like shit on Tom Brady because he finally is not able to do something well.
Tom Brady. Fuck.
So I wish him the best. I hope that it gets better for
Tom
him.
Brady. Fuck Tom Brady.
but I understand. It's a different transition. Because I remember like when I went from programming to going, you know what, let's start a podcast. It was a difficult transition. I had to learn a lot real fast. I had to be able to think on my toes. So it is definitely a transition. And I hope that Greg Olson whoops him in the break room as soon as he see him. But I understand. If I was Greg Olson, I would be Mr. Petty. Every time I see him in the break room, I would put my freaking Emmy in my hand. Hey, you got one of these, dog? Every time. Took that man job. Gave that man untold sums of money to be bad. I told y'all Tom Brady be failing up, but y'all don't want to believe me. That's my little quarterback. I love Tom Brady. Didn't know who that man was before he became a Buck, but I'm gonna digress.
Go Tom.
I'm gonna be a good.
Yes. Go
I'm,
Tom.
I'm gonna be a good Christian today.
And go Baker.
Yes. W. Unlike the
TP,
Raiders.
TP. I
I'm
have
sorry, I just glanced over at the MCS finals going on tonight, and Abram looked like he about to go rob a convenience store. What? Like,
You know, right?
I have some questions. I have some questions, TP. Um,
talk to me.
so Marlo just said we just heard Marlo say go Baker, right?
You will never hear me say go Baker. You won't hear
I
that.
That's
know,
my that's my
but we
quarterback.
heard Marlo.
Oh,
We heard Marlo say go
That's
Baker.
not my lane. Those are not my lines.
Go Baker. Go ahead, just one
But
time.
Nah,
I want to know for
I'm
the
focused
record,
on this.
is
He's a
Baker
future
really
Texan, you
Marlo's
know.
quarterback?
As long as he winning,
Okay, because I remember not
As
long
long
ago.
as he the Bucks quarterback, go Baker.
Yes.
I
as
remember.
long as he doesn't develop a serious case of loss, he'll be Marlo guy.
Amen to the preacher.
But as soon as loss creeps in, it's over with.
For those who are unaware, Marlo's guy Baker had a bad spell last year. And Marlo gave us an acronym that we didn't know existed. Um, and that acronym is LOFT. And LOFT means lack of effing talent. Um, but that's his quarterback today. But he gave us him
Go Baker.
gave us
Go
the acronym.
Baker.
Gave us the acronym. We can't
That's
have
Well,
my
in my
quarterback.
defense, when he was playing with the loft issue, it was evident that that talent was not there.
Well, my quarterback got that, but I'm not seeing it, and I'm getting pissed off.
I think Trevor Lawrence is experiencing a little bit of loss.
Yeah, he is. He so is. A $150 is not what we need.
But hey, we gonna get to that on Thursday. You need to come. You need to show up Thursday unless you have.
I can't. That's the first day of the work week, man.
Okay.
Anyway, that's unfortunate.
Well, shit. We'll let you. We'll give you a chance to get it all off your chest.
Man, I will, man. Eventually. You know what? Nah. You know what? I'll make one of these. I'll promise to make one.
this. You know, but since we here, um, the Baltimore Ravens lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, 27-20. The rushing leader for that game was Lamar Jackson.
Yup,
Now,
that guy.
I know I ain't crazy. I know I'm not crazy, but I know there is a dude who looks like a Mack truck that they paid money to come to their team and run the ball so Lamar Jackson didn't have to run the ball.
I mean, but they did though. He did. He scored, actually.
He-
So it's
they,
just
they
like,
looked at him on the sidelines on third and shorts.
yeah. But they were also passing on third and short too. And converting. Justice Hill was out there a lot as well. So I mean, look, I don't. I think they got to learn to work him in more. They do. They got to learn to work him in more. And he was catching the ball his last couple of years in Tennessee. So let's see what he can do as a third down back as well. You know, it don't got to be all Justin Hill as a third down back too. He could stay out there a lot of the time. So you know that he can pass block it. You know his big body can pass block. So
at some point, Lamar got to stop doing his Aaron Rodgers imitation. He got to be a championship quarterback. Dude, you got the MVPs. We know you're great, but that greatness got to translate into a Super Bowl. Because right now,
I mean, that's a tough week one though, man. That's a tough week one. That was a great week one game. First game of the year. You kidding me? That was not fair. That was not fair.
They are about to have the GOAT is about to be living and playing if they three-peat. He will surpass Joe Montana if they three-peat.
Did you say a fake three-peat?
No.
If they complete
the
three-peat.
You know what, Troy? I think you would love nothing more than Patrick Mahomes to win 3 in a row so you can say that Tom ain't the GOAT. I think your whole mission in life
oh my God. How?
is better than Tom Brady. That's your mission right now.
See what I'm saying? The level of just.
You're actually
Fuck Tom Brady.
If it may be true, but we have to wait to the end of Patrick Mahomes' career. I think that we get too ahead of ourselves, like people putting LeBron over Michael before LeBron's career is even over with. You know,
LeBron is killing that.
We cannot have GOAT debates with players that are still playing. I don't care how great or how many things they've done. You got to have that conversation after it's all said and done. On the track that Patrick Mahomes is on now, I think he will surpass Tom Brady, but it ain't today. It won't be tomorrow. It won't be next year. It won't be the year after that. You're gonna have to wait to deliver those flowers. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, agree.
TP, you know me. I am the one that says, "Nah, man, we got to give these kids a chance to go through their career and da 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 da." If he three-peats, I am saying it here now. Just like I said, we should have fired Norville 4 years ago. I'm saying it here now. If he gets a three-peat, unless he does a LeBron and plays his way down, dude to go. Dude will be.
I don't think even a three-peat propels him until we see what he does the rest of his career.
Right, I definitely agree with that.
That has never.
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. He doesn't have more. He doesn't have more, right? Isn't your whole thing with
what?
With LeBron and Jordan?
Even if he three-peats, he will not have as many rings as Tom Brady.
Right.
Tom Brady is a 70% winner.
My point exactly.
Right. 70% is damn good. Last I checked.
You fail if you get a 70. I'm sorry. You get a C if you get a 70%, or is it D? C or D if you get 70%.
Oh my God, you're taking it into high school grading scale. No, we don't do that.
I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna do this right now. I'm not even gonna do this right now.
You know Tom Brady actually winning them at that many championships.
Look, here's the thing. Tom Brady played for 22 years. And of those 22 years, half of them, he made it to the Super Bowl. Name another quarterback that has ever done that.
How many years Patrick Mahomes been in the league?
His career is not over with.
I understand. I'm trying to figure out if half his career has he been in a Super Bowl. Because I know he's been in the AFC Championship game damn near his whole career.
Yeah.
And not to give that dude any flowers, but that is more Tom Brady-esque than Tom Brady.
What do you mean? Every year that Tom Brady was in the league, they either made it to the championship, to the AFC Championship game, or they went to the Super Bowl.
No,
it was a few times that they were eliminated in the AFC
5 years in the
Championship game.
desert.
If you want to talk about numbers, of his 22 years in the league, 17 of them he played AFC Championship games. There was 1 year that he was injured in week 1, and they still won 11 games, but they missed the playoffs. That is the only year in Tom Brady's career where the Patriots did not at least make the playoffs. And then of those years, 17 of them, they played in AFC Championship games.
If I could go back in time and make sure Tom Brady did get injured that year, my life would be better now.
They probably would have won the Super Bowl. What you mean?
That is fine, but you know what wouldn't have happened? Quiet Boy Jimmy would have never been in Vegas.
That's not true. You don't know that because Tom Brady kept hanging around, and eventually, if you got this good quarterback as a backup, then you got to get some value for him.
Who said Quiet Boy was good?
I mean, he played decent in New England. They saw enough in him to make him a starting quarterback on a different team without him actually ever proving himself. And I mean, I guess we saw the result, but at the end of the day, they had to get some value for him. And the Raiders were looking for a quarterback like they are today. The Raiders have been looking for a quarterback since Rich Gannon retired. You can argue with a wall.
I hope you stub your toe.
Because
anyway,
Russell wasn't it.
I'm going to say this.
Derek Carr wasn't it.
Let's talk about Derek Carr, shall we?
They beat up on the poor, like, they need to change their name to Alley Cats because those ain't Panthers. Those are Alley Cats.
Let me see you took it straight.
They're not a fool. That's not a big. They not big cats. They alley cats.
Oh my. Okay. I don't listen. I'm not finna sit here and have any illusions about who Carolina is. But 41 points on an NFL team is still 41 points. They get paid too.
Yeah. They making a lot of money to go out there and get mollywopped.
And since we talk about the NFC South, based on what I seen this weekend, I need to apologize to Marlo for saying Atlanta was going
the Bucks.
That is not true. Y'all not winning it. And
Atlanta is who we thought they were, and they did not get let off the hook.
I told you what was going to happen in Atlanta. I told you when a team made that many changes, there's a problem with chemistry from the jump anyway. But even by the time they do get together, the season is over.
Not in the NFC South. Nope. Because y'all didn't blow out a struggling Washington team. That game should have been game, set, match early, and y'all let them hang around. And if it wasn't for some amazing catches by Mike Evans, because a lot those touchdowns he caught, he wasn't open. But we expect Mike Evans to make plays like that because he's been doing it for the better part of a decade.
Let's talk about it, TP. Let's talk about it.
Hold on, Troy. Hold on. At the end of the day, the Falcons brought in a lot of different pieces to build, but they still have to appreciate their young core. And I think what's happening is there's too much focus on the new guys instead of letting them just gel together. Now, we know Pittsburgh is a very well-coached team. They may not have the athleticism, but when you put a bunch of new guys who don't have the chemistry against a well-coached Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin coach team, Mike Tomlin going to take that based on the simple fact that he is out coaching the other coach, and his players play together better because he's coached them that way. They have better chemistry. And that does mean something on the football field.
Yeah, it's not about the X's and O's when you're out there on the football field with Mike Tomlin.
This Atlanta Falcon team will be all right, and it's based simply on the fact of the amount of talent that they have. And in the NFC South, that's the race that ends week 18. That race don't be over early because the Saints played very good football against Carolina, albeit they are a terrible team. But the Saints are going to fight for that division as well.
Yeah, they always will.
That cakewalk is over, buddy.
But the Panthers suck. That's a free. That's free
Oh,
two wins. That's a free 2 wins.
Hey, whenever you see them on your bet sheet, take the spread for the other team because they're gonna cover.
All right, TP. So we kind of ran across a little post, or I ran into some BS on Twitter. I was told that Mike Evans is a top 5 wide receiver of all time.
Top 5?
Top 5.
Ooh,
Not of this era, of all time.
I need you to name the 5. I need you to name 4 receivers that's better than him. Or I don't know about this conversation. Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. He has the stats to be a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
He's done something only one other player has done, and that's have 10 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. He is also in a position where he can break that record.
Jerry Rice record? No, he's not even close.
Like break the most consecutive 1,000-yard season?
Oh, most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons?
Yes.
Hold on, let me go.
The number is 11.
Why is Mike Evans?
But is he top 5?
No, I don't think he's top 5, and that wasn't my argument. My argument is name 5 receivers that you think would be in the top 5. Give me the receivers that are better than him, and then I'm going to give you some more receivers that are better than him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I'm just on the yards. Just on the yards. Jerry, Larry, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Isaac Bruce. Tony Gonzalez is in there, but he's a tight end. And Tim Brown.
So are we putting Mike Evans over Michael Irvin?
Mike Evans is on. Oh my God. Mike Evans is on he's number 33 in yards.
Yeah. Because of those 1,000-yard seasons, not many went over 1,100. He got 1,000.
He's not better than Julio, is he? So, what are we talking about?
No. He ain't better than Hines Ward. Like, what?
No, I gotta stop you there. The disrespect. No, he's definitely
yards. I'm talking about yards. He's not better than Hines Ward.
He might be better than that.
If you was picking a team right now, would you take Hines Ward or Mike Evans? Go ahead and say some serious shit.
Is there a gun to my head? I don't know. I can't even make that decision. Can I take Derek Mason instead?
No. Derek Mason was barely the best receiver on his team.
Oh God! And he still
in Tennessee and in Baltimore.
And he still got more yards than Mike Evans.
He had a long, good career. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That don't make you better.
So Mike has probably the chance. He'll probably catch. Shoot. He'll probably end up, if he plays another 5 years, he may get into the top 10, top 15 in yards. But oof.
But he will be in Canton one day.
Yeah, he'll be in Canton because
he will be.
They're gonna go. Oh, you know how they do with the Bucks players. Oh, he got a bunch of stats. We're gonna put him in because that's our buddy.
He also has a ring. The disrespect,
right? Like, come on,
the disrespect just continues. You still holding this gripe about Tampa Bay beating Oakland in the Super Bowl. You
No, no,
still
no, no,
there?
no. That's not a gripe. Hold on. That's not even a gripe. That's not even about
That
Oakland.
is
This
definitely a
means
great.
that is not a gripe. It's
Tell
not
them,
even
Marlo.
about that. It's not even
Yeah.
about that. First off, let's just keep it a book. There is a dude that played in Carolina that should be in the Hall of Fame, point blank, period. Because if you put the dude that he turned into toast into the Hall of Fame, you got to put him in the Hall of Fame. Let's stop playing that game. But this dude made no friends, and there aren't a lot of Carolina Panthers in the Hall of Fame. We have to acknowledge there are a lot of dudes that got in the Hall of Fame. Jacksonville Jaguars, when their teammates got in, they started getting in because Tony Baselli, if in any other era, he does not make the Hall of Fame because he was essentially not the blind side blocker. He was the front side blocker for a left-handed quarterback.
So are you telling me right tackles don't earn their spots in the
No,
Hall
no,
of
no, no,
Fame?
no. They put him in the Hall of Fame as a pass blocking tackle because
You
of
still
what
got a pass block from either side now.
he had one game against Bruce Smith, and Bruce Smith said, "Don't use that one game highlight to put him in the Hall of Fame." Remember?
I
That
remember.
was Bruce Smith saying this dude don't belong.
But
Isn't
what you
Bruce
mean?
Smith the all-time sack leader?
So one game puts you in the Hall of Fame.
No, but you just said it right there.
The
He was a front line
longevity
blocker
of
for a
Tony
left-handed
Baselli's
quarterback.
career.
No. So I'm sorry. The left-handed quarterback, his blind side is the right tackle. He was a left tackle for a left-handed quarterback. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He
No,
wasn't the
I get
pass
that. Mark
blocker.
Brunell was a lefty. We all know Mark
Yeah.
Brunell was a lefty. And they had a very dynamic offense with him, Jimmy Smith, and Kenny McCardell for a long time.
Who, by the way, deserved to be in the freaking Hall of Fame.
Who, Keenan or
Jimmy
Jimmy?
Smith.
Jimmy Smith, yeah.
If we don't look at his off the field crap, he's a Hall of Famer, but they keep throwing that up. Like it's my beef with the Hall of Fame has nothing to do with 90% of the players. It has to do with how they change the standards. And games evolve, standards evolve. But we're talking about this ain't like, oh, this was the best guy, whatever. A lot of these guys are getting in because their homeboy is now in the room. So let me get them in the room. And the beef that I have with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are currently in the Hall of Fame, is I can't believe I'm about to say this about a boot skin. Y'all really need to start looking at Fred Taylor as a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. It's another one.
Because that whole little run, where you if you put Baselli in, you gotta put Fred in.
I feel like you got to.
You gotta put Fred in because at this point it's just disrespectful. But again, Prime said it. Everybody's saying it. The Hall of Fame is starting to get to the point now where you need another door for the dogs. Some of these dudes was consistent and good vets, but it was some dogs out there. So
I would say that when I'm looking for a Hall of Famer, I'm looking for somebody that either transcends the era or changes the sport.
yeah.
You know, you remember our conversation with Steve Berline when he was talking about Lawrence Taylor and how he actually changed the way teams had to pass protect. That's something that I think about. The way Peyton Manning's approach to the game. He adopted a lot of things that he learned from previous quarterbacks and put it all into one. Quarterbacks like Dan Fouts, quarterbacks like Boomer Esiason, Dan Marino, and John Elway. He put them all into one quarterback. That's something that transcends era and it changed the game. Teams wasn't going shotgun every down like that until Peyton was. And the quarterback that did it before him was Dan Fouts. So that's something now when we look at the NFL, every team is in shotgun. that started with Peyton. You know, so the way Mike Evans has played the game, now we seeing the big bodies. You ain't got to run 4.3 speed to get drafted. Can you catch in traffic? Can I depend on you consistently to make contested catches? And he has done that. I don't know any receiver that I can look back on and say that, oh, almost every one of his big time catches were contested. Terrell Owens used to get mad separation. Jerry Rice got mad separation. Randy Moss, mad separation. Larry Fitzgerald even got decent separation. Mike Evans does it with minimum separation, but his catch radius is outrageous. If you throw it near him, he has a great chance of making a catch. When they do their whole the analytic thing, percentage of a catch on this play, shit, for him, y'all got to use a different grading scale because he is different. Those percentages don't matter when it's Mike Evans. And I think that that's something about him that you can say transcends eras. He could have played in any era of football and would have been dominant.
Yeah, I think he would have did his job. Yeah.
If Mike Evans would have had a little bit more speed, his play style, not necessarily his play style and body type, not the height, but his play style and body type. Y'all need to go back into the annals of YouTube. There is a dude named Sterling Sharp. Was not the fastest, was not the tallest. I think he might have been 6'2", but physical is all get out.
He wasn't over 6'1".
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he was physical. And when you have a quarterback,
he was 5'11". Yeah,
and he just played physical, and I think his play style led to his injury because he didn't back down from no route. You was not gonna put your hands on him and you weren't throwing him off his route. He's gonna chuck you around. Absolute monster. Had his injury not happened, he would have been in the Hall of Fame because he had record-breaking seasons, and he just got injured. Of course, when he had record-breaking season and pissed Jerry Rice off, and then Jerry Rice was like, fuck your record. But man was him. But I'll get off that. Some other games, some notable games. When we gonna get Daniel Jones up out the league?
I'm waiting for it, man. That dude stinks.
I said it on this podcast. Daniel Jones will not end the season as the Giants quarterback, and I meant every fucking word.
Yeah, he won't.
All right. I know I hate these tough topics because we don't have the personnel to really tackle it. But Sean Watson is probably gonna be low life of the year.
Unless they get it together.
It's
Slumlord.
I'm gonna be transparent and honest. When all his transgressions first broke out, I was one of them people who's like, well, let's wait to hear, what's going on. And when it went from 5 to 18, I was like, oh, you wilding. And now there's another lawsuit. Oh, you one of them. Pattern exactly the same. Nothing has changed. Dirtbag, even. Do you know? It takes a lot for me to call a grown man a dirtbag. But this is what Cleveland gets. You knew what was coming down the turnpike. The NFL clued you in on what was coming down the turnpike when they found out you was about to offer him that contract. NFL got the greatest investigators in the world. None of this is a shot, and you still gave that man a boatload of money, got on TV with your wife, and said you feel perfectly safe with Deshaun Watson. Because Deshaun Watson ain't trying to get a massage from your wife. So now you got a quarterback who can't play his way out of a paper bag. You got Jameis Winston in the background, who everybody loved because everybody loved the backup. And you got this scandal going on. And the coaches are stuck with a quarterback that they don't want and that they never wanted. You know what happened this weekend? What happened this weekend was you have a playoff contending team who has a quarterback that they don't like, respect, or think has talent. And they are just not playing for him.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a serious case of law. Man, the Browns did not look good. Deshaun Watson did not look good. Nick Chubb still ain't playing. Hurts him in the way that he can't just turn around and hand the ball off 20, 25 times to a great running back. But for how much money they paid him and the expectations, he is not meeting them. And then with the off the field issues, it just adds to the despair of having him at quarterback. Now, I did read something that the Browns may be able to void his contract and not owe him anything or take a cap hit because of this second violation. So, we're still waiting on all the details. So, before we pass judgment, I'm only going to judge his play, which has not been good. He has not lived up to the expectation. Joe Flacco did better than this shit. They should have kept the Flack man. Because what I'm seeing right now ain't top-tier money worthy. These quarterbacks signing these big contracts regress. Daniel Jones has thrown more pick sixes than touchdowns since he signed his contract.
You want to go to TP because in that same game, dude just got paid and threw for 179 yards. That's not what you expect from the leading contract in the history of the NFL. Man, God,
I'm starting to question Tennessee Titans quarterback. Can we talk about it?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
All right. What I saw was what I see from Will Levis is a talented quarterback. We know that he has a strong arm. We know that he has athletic ability. He's a big guy. He can break tackles. He can do all those things. But when he's rattled, when you put pressure in his face, when his receivers aren't open, when things aren't going their way, he looks terrible. And I'll use the one play that really tells the whole story of him. That pick six, he had got hit earlier in the game, and he had been grabbing at his ribs. He clearly had something going on in his midsection from a hard hit he had took earlier in the game. He let that distract him later in the game when it matters. Instead of coming out, instead of saying, hey, I don't need to be on the field because I can't play to my full. That last play when he threw that pick six, his offensive line created a perfect pocket. You can look at it from the end zone cam from the backside. It was a perfect pocket. But because he was rattled, because pressure was on, this is a big time moment. Are you going to win this game or not? he drifts into the pass rush, completely abandons his throwing platform, which was set up perfectly for him by his offensive line. So anybody that blames the offensive line, you must don't know football.
Mhm.
Because they created a perfect pocket, and this man proceeded to drift backwards and left into the pass rush. And instead of just taking the sack, when you have a 1-point lead and your defense has been playing very well, you yeet the ball to the other team and lose the game. And you're already at a disadvantage because, well, you're not at 100%. So, of course, you're not about to go right back down the field and win the game. You put your team in a horrible situation when they all were fighting for you and with you because you wasn't ready. You wasn't ready for the moment. We seen it from him last year. When the pressure was on, he did not perform well. So when y'all start thinking about giving these quarterbacks big contracts, look at how they handle pressure.
Well, in that same game, y'all told me that Caleb Williams was an upgrade from Justin Fields. Y'all told me, and I'm not talking about y'all, I'm talking about the experts that pontificated on the greatness of Caleb Williams. And I'm minding my business, just driving along. I'm not a Bears fan, so I'm not watching that game. But I'm just driving along, and I see the ticker go on the bottom of my tablet and says 12 of like 27. Y'all told me he was a generational talent. Y'all told me that he had all the tools to be successful as a NFL rookie quarterback. Y'all told me he was going to be the first rookie to throw for 4,000 yards. You lying sons of...
Actually, CJ Stroud threw 4,000 last year. You know,
He was going to come in with that. But
don't do that.
but
Don't do that.
what I'm saying is they told me all these things. And the first live action, he can't hit the broadside of a barn. Now, if I'm being respectful, that wide receiver they got from the Chargers, I've said has an inability to get separation for a very long time. I'm a Raiders fan. I've been watching him. He has not been able to separate. So
No,
I knew when they was like, "Oh, we got two number ones." No, you don't. No, you don't. You better hope Aduzier is the number one.
they got 3 number 2s.
That is a problem.
No, because there are teams out there that don't even got a number 2.
Well,
I think
TP,
so. Watching that game, I feel like Tennessee Titans upgrades they made on the back end was to stop teams that had multiple good receivers. Bringing in L'Jarius Sneed, McNeary, another good lockdown corner. They have the tools in their secondary to give quarterback fits. The Bears show that they are going to try to see what they have with Caleb Williams. They are going to let him air it out, go out there and make a play. And I think he was trying to do too much in the first half, and you can tell this is your first live action. He didn't really play a lot in the preseason. So the chemistry with those receivers, real game time, ain't there. A lot of offenses and a lot of quarterbacks struggled this first week of the season if you was paying attention. We didn't see the 300 and 400-yard passing games. What we saw was teams focusing on running the ball. I saw a lot of teams that put a lot of emphasis in running the ball, even with all the weapons that they have on the outside. The Falcons gave the ball to Bijan a lot of times, even though it wasn't working. The Steelers gave Najee Harris the ball 20 times. He only gained 80 yards. It's 4 yards a carry. That's why I said they had a game plan. You see the Texans. We were going to give the ball to Joe Mixon. Let's see what we have. Even the Jets last night, Brees Hall only averaged 3.3 yards a carry, but they still kept giving it to him, even though that 49er front was showing we're not giving up no big runs. Aaron Rodgers, you're going to have to beat us with your arm. And he didn't really start trying to air it out until the second half, and by then it was too late.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles, we're going to show you what we have with Saquon. Hell, the Packers kept giving the ball to Josh Jacobs. All these teams put this focus on running the ball, but the Bears said, we got this rookie quarterback. We're going to see what we can do with the lack of chemistry that he had with his receivers. The percentage wasn't high. I expect that percentage to go up just based on the talent that they have at receiver. Like I said, they 3 number 2s, but I'll take 3 number 2s over a 1 and a 5. Because at least I know that we can spread the ball around.
Well,
I expect his numbers to go up. I don't know if it's going to always result in wins. Especially next Sunday night.
What is next Sunday night? Let me see. I got to go forward on the schedule.
5 days from now, Caleb Williams will be flying into Houston.
Oh, Jesus.
He will be flying into Houston to face a very good pass rush and a very good secondary. That is what's happening. But I don't think that they beat us. I don't think that their team is good enough. But I do like that the Bears are, what's the word? Committed. They was committed to getting the weapons. They're going to be committed to throwing the ball, even though they brought in DeAndre Swift, a running back who they probably should have seen what they have. Maybe a better game plan. Don't just drop back and throw it 30 times. Maybe you do need to hand it off. But that's something that they have to address during the week in practice and build a game plan that works. Because had it not been for Will Levis and the dumb shit that he did at the end of the game, the Titans probably win that game.
Yeah, yep, I agree. Oh.
So I want to try to get through a couple more little situations. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers. I'm sorry, New York Jets. I don't think he makes it back to the Super Bowl.
I mean, this is his last hurrah, I would imagine, because he's not getting any younger. So
what I saw against San Francisco, and again, granted, we don't know what San Francisco is going to be at the end of the season, but what we know for sure, Aaron Rodgers don't want to get hit at all. It was 1, 2, 3 throw.
He also looked like a statue.
yeah.
Achilles will do that, won't it?
The mobility is gone. And I think that we didn't even think about that with Kirk Cousins. But he's battling the same thing. He's an over-the-hill quarterback who's coming off of an Achilles injury. Not to, deflate to the Falcons, but Aaron Rodgers had good protection. He was uncomfortable in the pocket, but when he did have time, he made great throws down the field to Allen Lazard.
He better find the young boy, because Allen Lazard is not going to lead you to the promised land.
What do you mean? Garrett Wilson.
That's what I'm saying. Give it to Garrett Wilson.
He got him.
He found Garrett Wilson 6 times for 60 yards. They went to the pass too late. I said that earlier. They were focused on getting Brees Hall the ball, and they did that a lot. But by the time that they wanted to start focusing on the pass, it was already too late. Now Nick Bosa and them boys are pinning their ears back. Nick Bosa and Leonard Floyd coming off the edge. You know he didn't want to see Leonard Floyd again.
He was wreaking havoc. Oh my God! Yesterday, he was a menace.
But while we on that game, I just want to talk about the fact that Fred Warner is the best linebacker in football. I'm gonna have to give. I've been giving this man his flowers for years. He ain't slowed down. He looked faster this year. I don't know what this man off-season workout regimen is, but fly it in. Fly it in. Every time Brees Hall took a breath, 54 was there. That fumble,
Textbook.
He doesn't tell me. Textbook. Can't coach it better than that. But it's the execution. I think it's his execution and play recognition with the God-given ability to get to the ball that makes him so much better than every other linebacker that plays football right now.
Mm-hmm. He just got it all. He got it. He's so cerebral and athletic that
you know who I would compare him to?
Oh,
he's a more athletic Brian Urlacher.
Yeah.
That would be my comparison in the same number. The number, it kind of made me think about it. So I'm already right there with it. But he's a more athletic Brian. And Brian was a hell of an athlete. So this is no disrespect.
Imagine he was any more athletic. Forget about it. Oh my God! Oh man, yeah, that'd be a menace out there. Holy,
because a lot of people didn't know that Brian Urlacher wasn't a linebacker in college. He was a safety.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. Antonio Pierce, love you, dude. Absolutely love you. You are a Raider through and through. But this is a results-oriented business.
It's one game.
We cannot, and I understand it's the Chargers in the beginning of the season. We know the Chargers are going to charge, but the Chargers gave away all their talent for a can of pinto beans. Can't be losing to the Chargers. Cannot.
You said he a Raider guy. I thought Raiders guys were aggressive, took chances, let them hang. I thought those were Raider guys.
I didn't see none of that on Sunday out of y'all. Did not go for that at all. Scary.
I seen a scary.
They play like a bunch of high school athletes out there.
Let me tell you how you lose a game. 4th and 1 on my opponent's 42-yard line. 7 minutes left in the game, and we punt the ball.
Punt the football.
Down by 6.
That was the game. That was the game.
You get that first down. We run the ball. They have been doing a decent job of running the ball, which is another reason why I am so flabbergasted by the call on 4th and 1. This ain't a 4th and 10, 12, 4th and 5. No. Your offensive line has been dominating the trenches because you coach an aggressive style of football as far as blocking and stuff. But when the game is on the line, we punt. You didn't get the ball back.
So TP, I'm gonna go ahead and let a little cat out the bag. There were 2 4th and 1s that they did not run the ball. They threw passes. And the one that they converted got called back. So again, I love Antonio Pierce. Love him as a coach. Please don't get on my Mike Norville side. Please.
Oh, it's
beg.
coming. It's coming. You see, he should have called. He should have called D'Amico. What should I do in this situation? When we had short yardage and had to get it, we flipped the ball to 28, and he made good shit happen.
The Bengals. Can we talk about the Bengals? The Bengals are toast.
Oh
They're
man,
they're done. They are done.
To the Patriots. To the Patriots.
They are done.
Jacoby Brissett led Patriots.
It's early.
It ain't that. You cannot listen. You cannot lose to the quarterback that the other team don't even like. This ain't the first time they had an opportunity to get Jacoby Brissett and have him be their starting quarterback. They didn't like him. They still don't like him. They didn't draft one quarterback. They drafted two quarterbacks.
It wasn't Jacoby. It was Stevenson. Stevenson
Look,
told him that no.
I tell you what, Gerard Mayo said, I'm gonna go with who gives us the best chance to win.
He did.
Fuck who he drafted.
He did. So
because Drake May didn't show enough in training camp to earn the starting job.
I told
Joe
y'all
Milton might not be ready just yet, and he might be better than Drake May.
Drake May is looking over his shoulder.
Yeah,
Joe Milton can throw the ball a mile, but he can't pitch it 2 yards.
Oh God, he got to work on that. He got to work on that.
And you know it. You all that talk you was talking about Joe Milton. What I saw from him was a guy that has a big arm. He's athletic, but he is not going to complete 3rd and 6s. He's not going to keep his offense moving down the field. And that's what the NFL is. That's what the NFL is right now. You can run the ball, but you're going to be in situations where you got to convert 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 7. Hell, you might get a holding. You might get a holding or a false start on the 3rd and 3, and now you at 3rd and 8. Can your quarterback still make a play? I know mine can.
Shit, mine can't, and we just played him.
Mine can.
For now,
mine did.
Marlo, stop. You gave your quarterback an acronym. Quit getting on this podcast acting like you like that dude. You don't.
You do.
Go Baker. Go Baker.
He like him today.
Woo, I can't wait till they play New Orleans. TP. He gonna come up with another acronym. He gonna come up with another one. So, but oh man. So, real quick heads up for everybody watching. I know this says it is a basketball podcast. The content for basketball just isn't there right now, and what is available is WNBA stuff. And quite frankly, I just rather not delve into those waters because it is dirty and nasty.
You got to explain. We need context.
The Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing, you had the WNBA commissioner going on different talk shows, morning shows, saying that this rivalry is needed because it provides a throwback to sort of like Magic and Bird. Now, if you're not old enough to remember Magic and Bird, it was the best of times, but it was also the worst of times because those Magic Bird finals were billed as basically the blacks versus the whites. And what was ironic about that was that the Celtics had a bunch of black ball players. And so you saw Bird and Magic, but for instance, for one finals, Cornbread Maxwell was the finals MVP. That dude dark as me. Dennis Johnson is a Hall of Famer. Black guy. Harris.
It's crazy because this was around the same time as the convicts versus the Catholics.
Exactly.
Same time frame. Late 80s, early 90s.
I'd rather not delve into that. It's just if we can get a specialist, a WNBA specialist to come on and talk about the players and games and stuff like that, I will, and I'm doing my best to get a couple on. So once we get there, we'll have a specialist come on and we'll talk about it. But what I'm not going to do is from the 5,000-foot room discuss what I see. And then I have to go back and deal with these people on Twitter because I ain't that guy. I'm going to talk about your mama. You're not going to like me. So for everybody involved, we just keep it clean. It's going to be fun. That's the one thing. Lead with love. But if you can't lead with love, I can roll in the mud too. I'm very versatile like that. So, but that's why we haven't had basketball content. Now, that being said, we are starting to roll into media days with college. Hopefully we get a chance, and hopefully I get a chance to break down the SWAC and the MEAC first. We're going to break those down first because they don't get the attention that they deserve because they are HBCUs. Then we'll get into the ACC, the SEC, the Big Ten, and so on and so forth. We'll focus on conferences that we think will make noise so that we're just not like trying to tap everything. We won't be able to do it. By the time we go through all the mid-majors, it'll be December. So we'll try and get through the conferences that matter. But on the 19th, myself and Marlo will be, knock on wood, if we get approved. But we got approved last time at the last minute. So, but if we get approved, we'll be at the SWAC Media Day for both the men and the women, and that will be on a Thursday. So we'll work that out and get live. We'll be going live and get coaches interviews. I will be interviewing coaches this time. Okay. There are some, like, for instance, Reggie Theus. I definitely want to interview Reggie Theus, former NBA player. He was in Chicago before Mike got there, so I definitely want to interview him. Also, Magic all-time. I'm gonna call him a Magic all-time great because before Magic was an expansion team, he was the shooting guard on the Magic. So I definitely want to get an interview with him. I want to get an interview with FAMU's head coach, Coach Crary. So we're going to definitely go live and get interviews, and I'll be aggressive. I will carry myself as a beat writer and get interviews so that my fans and all the fans of the Gathering Old Men podcast and the Madness Basketball podcast, Fat Mouth Sports, can actually see us get these interviews, because I'm not going to ask the same questions the other guys ask. We're going to get some real questions. Fan questions. So, but that's what we got going down the pike. So, if you've followed myself, TP or DK, you've witnessed me kind of crash out about Florida State. And there is rumors floating around that Florida State is lowballing players. It has also come out that Florida State is paying about $12 million in NIL. The rumors are 12 to 15, give or take. We never heard any of these numbers all summer, all spring, all fall. Never heard any of these numbers at all. But when people get to calling for coaches' heads and recruiters' heads and football operations heads, we started to see all kind of stuff. Florida State leaking like a sieve. And I don't like it. The captain of the Titanic went down with the ship. So you can point the fingers at any and everybody you want to. You lost to Georgia Tech on foreign soil, only to come home to lose to Boston College at home. Then and I don't know how this became a thing, to let come out that the players want the DJ to play on third down at Doak Campbell Stadium in Bobby Bowden Field. Are you fucking serious? You can't be serious. For every player out there, if you come to Florida State, there is a culture. There's a lot of stuff, right? But one thing is for certain is the war chant is gonna play on third down. That's game day experience. Even if you don't hear it on the field, that's game day experience. I don't want to hear no Daft Punk on no third down. The fuck?
We want change. We want change.
Fuck them kids. You're not raising these kids right. Stop getting these kids in here to think, you know what? I think we need some Jay-Z on third down.
What's wrong with that?
So, few things. Some traditions are mendable. You can bend, change, even fluctuate. If you take away the war chant, what is the purpose of having Renegade, of having the Marching Chiefs? We're gonna switch out the Marching Chiefs for DJ Make a Beat.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that idea should be fired immediately. Whoever even considered it should be fired immediately. And I'm not gonna lie, I was not, when I talked about this last time, I wasn't sure how I felt about it until I actually got the letter that the Marching Chiefs sent out to the world to let the Marching Chiefs, let the world in Seminole land know, hey, it ain't us trying not to work with the football team. We trying to work with the football team. There are plays that, there are times when the DJ plays and we don't play. Hey, Marlo, what would happen if the football player said, don't play, let's go, play one leg up by half pint on third down? What would happen?
Yeah, I don't think it would go well. First, first of all, I don't. These kids don't know what one leg up is.
I'm
So,
just using that. I'm using it as an example. Using it as an example.
but yeah, the let's go is the staple. They know that. So, yeah, that ain't happening.
And here's the best part of everything. Out of all these leaking documents and all this information coming out, Mike Norvell has not recruited well as a Florida State head coach. You sit at the seat of Florida. You have your pick of the best recruits in the nation because a lot of those kids are in Florida. You have on occasion not out recruited Wisconsin. They ain't got no fucking beach. They ain't got no sunshine. They ain't got mosquitoes. Wisconsin. Can't out recruit Wisconsin. That's just high school players, right? You hit on the portal one year, and we had some good times. That other 10 win season, please understand I don't count that 10 win season because, as me and TP have said on several occasions, Wake Forest can't be the standard. Can't be. And you have an opportunity while Clemson is basically on the fire logs about to burn their program to the ground. You had an opportunity to seize the ACC on your way out the door. Now, the Ibis people believe they got a shot. They really believe that. The head coach still ain't gonna take no knee. He's going to get out coached every single game. Point blank, period. But you know who else get out coached every single game?
Like Norman.
My head coach.
Mr. Mike.
And I just need everybody to apologize to me for the 3 years of disrespect that I took on these platforms when I was saying, it's the coach, dog. We got to get a new head coach. Not everybody on my side. It's wrong when I said it, but when y'all say it, it's okay.
That's just how the cookie come.
This ain't even about I told you so. This is about what took y'all so long. But 0-2 changed a lot of minds. Especially, see, I told Marlo earlier tonight. I said this. I said, if God would so ever bless me to hit this Mega Millions for $800 million, FAMU will have the craziest NIL in the history of the world. And I will take a year to figure out what we're going to do at Florida State. Marlo said I was being petty. I'm not being petty. I need to see what they want to do because I recall in my rearview mirror that AD, who was no longer with the school, got on national TV and said 6-6 ain't good enough and dismissed the coach. We're now 0-2 with the head coach that has 2 losing seasons. On the verge of 3. And people are telling me, oh, they're not going to fire him because he got $6-7 million on his contract. The devil is a lie. This ain't even me. If you think I'm out of pocket, let this man go have a losing season. These people that's quietly saying we need a head coach, that's a low rumble. We ain't the Gators. We not going to quietly not give. We're going to not give and raise hell at the same time. So, fuck around and find out. This the fan base to do it with. We ran Bobby out of town. You think this dude's special? Come on, man. What are we talking about? But no family. We don't need to fight amongst each other. We can agree to disagree. We had a week off. Now we got Memphis.
About to be another L.
I'm
About
here
to
to tell
be
you.
another L.
I'm here to tell you, God, just in case I need to hit this Mega Millions, just in case. Because I really want to test and see how many times the city of Tallahassee going to give me a parade permit in 1 month. Because if some strange reason chaos happens, whew. But again, that's just me, disgruntled fan. Well, I had my little two cents. TP, I know you want to talk about your Longhorns. Go, what you got for us this week?
I already talked about the Longhorns. I told you. We ready. We went to the big house. We handled business. But I'm going to direct my attention out west, Colorado, for this week of you ain't who you say you are. Shedeur Sanders is not that good. I said it before and I was called a hater. That pick 6 he threw early in the game just showed me that everything I need to know about you. You don't make good decisions when you're under pressure. You cannot be a good quarterback at any level if you can't make at least decent decisions, not just throw the ball to the other team. And he consistently looked bad and sluggish in the pocket. So he doesn't have the athleticism to depend on that you would think that he would have. And outside of having Travis Hunter, he couldn't find nobody. You can't just force the ball to number 12 all season. These good teams are going to figure you out. And in that NDSU game, on that last play that Travis Hunter called, I said that was a horribly placed ball. It's a great catch by Hunter, but it's horribly placed. Those type of plays result in pick sixes. And what did he do in the first quarter of the next game? Threw a pick six. I already peaked it. I'd already peaked it. Nebraska, on the other hand, with Dylan Raiola, looked dominant.
They might got him one, man. That boy.
They might got one. He comes from a great family of football. His dad played in the NFL, so they spoke a little bit about his understanding of blocking and how to set up his offense. That goes a long way as far as your development as a quarterback, is understanding where you need to be on the field, because pass blocking does break down. And if you don't understand how it's supposed to work, you won't know what to do when it does break down, i.e. Shadir Sanders. But I think a lot more has to do with how well Nebraska plays defense than how bad Colorado is. That defensive tackle that Nebraska has, I have to look up his name. I just kept seeing this big country white boy coming through the middle of their offensive line
Every
every play. I mean, I need you give me 4 of them, I'll take over the world. That is a strong guy that they got, and he is gonna build himself a very high draft profile if he keeps playing like that. But Nebraska might I said it earlier. I said they brought the black shirts back. The black shirts are back in Lincoln, Nebraska. And that Nebraska team looks really good. And I think they have a great chance of winning the Big Ten this year with Dylan Raiola as a true freshman. Michigan doesn't look exceptional. Ohio State doesn't look exceptional. USC is really good, but I don't know if they are as good as Nebraska. Right. We will find out as the season goes along. But my takeaway from this weekend, teams got some questions they need answered. Other teams look like they're going to go off and have a great season. But this is why they play the game, because it's week 2. We can't make January predictions in September. But I appreciate y'all for coming to the Fat Mouth Sports Gathering of Old Men podcast. Like you said, it's supposed to be basketball, but hey, it's football season. Basketball will come. It'll have its time.
Yeah, we around the corner. We almost there.
It's coming. But for now, we're going to focus on the sports that are most prevalent. So I'll leave y'all with that, and I'll see y'all on Thursday and on this same podcast next Tuesday. Same time, same place.
Mm-hmm.
Go
DK.
What's happening?
What you got for us this week, man?
Oh, man. I guess I'll keep it simple. I'll go with my guys. I just want to see better quarterback play this week. That'd be nice. I knew that it was going to be a tough matchup. It's sad to say that like everybody was expecting a lot out of us because we jumped off to that quick start. But that was the Finns. Like that they kind of came out and did what they were supposed to do. So, I expect better coming out of next week. But other than that, for me personally, in terms of the podcast, like we just been saying, basketball's around the corner, so it sucks that we don't really got much to speak on, because now it's really in that dead point. They're kind of getting ready and whatnot now that we passed all the summer league stuff and all that. So we're right there. But for now, we got the start of the football season, so that's kind of what everybody's mind is on right now. So, but that's all I really got right now, man. That's all I got.
All right. The one, the only, Marlo, what you got for us this week?
This week, I was a little bummed, you know, when my alma mater played a money game against uh, highly talented D1 school. I didn't have very optimistic hopes of us winning that game. I just wanted nobody to come out of the game injured or the morale of the team down because they didn't perform the way they thought they would. And I think all those things happened. But then I was given a gift. Oh, I was given a gift by that school in Daytona. I looked at my phone. I said 2 points. Two, like you know how hard it is to lose a game only scoring 2 points. That they did something that's amazing.
That's hard.
They lost by 30 some points and only have scored 5 points on the season. That they are setting the benchmark for that school in Daytona at a level that they can't do nothing but have optimism going forward. They can't get no worse. If it get worse, I don't think nobody there got a job. Like they firing everybody. Then they'll be looking for another coach again. But who wants that job? Who wants to go and be the coach of that school?
They pay me enough, I would.
Yeah, yeah. Until you get there, and then you gonna Ed read them. What the hell? Y'all don't even have a stadium? Yeah, I mean y'all ain't even got a practice facility. What?
No, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. You go across the street. You go across the speedway to a high school on the corner with better facilities than the university. That's a problem.
That is broad.
That is a problem. So yeah, I'm in a real happy place. I I wish nothing but the best for FAMU and the opposite for that school in Daytona. So yeah, that's all I got.
Well, for Fat Mouth Sports and the Madness Basketball Podcast, I want to thank everyone for coming out. For myself, TP, DK, and the Menace Marlowe, we are out. Wow, this dude.